Why the first line of any audition is always the most important, and a nifty little strategy you can use to exploit the opportunity. Coming up next on this week's DeWeese Directive. How's it going? Bill DeWeese here. Hope you are doing well. Want to give you a quick reminder that I am going to be headed to Los Angeles in February. Can you think of a better place to be than warm, sunny Southern California in February? Any excuse to get out of the Chicagoland area in February. And this is my excuse. My 2-day voiceover revolution workshop is coming to Los Angeles. They're at the LAX Sheraton on February 7th and 8th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. And it'll be 2 days of intensive learning from the performance to the marketing aspects of the business, as well as Christina Malizia, voice character actor extraordinaire, will be joining us for a workshop as well, and other guests as well. So it's going to be a really cool 2 days. You're going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, can you think of a better place to be than LA in February? To register and for more information and to see some testimonials of people who have attended my previous events, simply go to voiceoverrevolutionevent.com, and I hope to see you in LA in February. Okay. Now, you may or you may not be aware of what I'm about to tell you, but even if you are, I want to share with you a strategy to help you take advantage of it, and that is simply this. The first line of any audition is always the most important. As human beings, we are prone to make quick judgments. For instance, we see a picture of a voiceover talent, and we cannot help but make a judgment as to what that person may sound like based on that. We listen to 2 or 3 seconds of a song, and we make a judgment as to whether we like it or not. A client listens to the first few seconds of an audition, and it really doesn't take them any longer than 3 to 5 seconds to make an initial judgment as to whether they even want to give you the time of day or not, whether they're going to listen to any more, or whether you're considered to be a serious contender for that job. So, in reality, 9 times out of 10, you could probably record the first 2 sentences and just leave off the rest. I wouldn't recommend doing that, just saying to illustrate a point. So my recommendation is this. Number 1, always focus. Make sure that first line especially is absolutely killer. Now, here's what I do. It usually takes me several reads, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever it takes me to get to where I need to get, to where I feel that read is competitive. But here's what I found, that usually even on the read that I feel is the best, let's say it's my 3rd read. Actually, let's be more realistic. Let's say it's my 5th read. And after 5 reads, I feel like this is it. If I listen to the very end of the audition, and then I go back to the very beginning and listen to the first line again, I can usually hear that there's room for improvement. So what I do, and the reason for that is simply the further you get into the script, the more you find your rhythm, your pace, the personality, the attitude. So what I do is simply this. Once I finish my final audition and I feel it's competitive and worthy to be sent in, I go back and I listen to the first line again, and I re-record the first line or two, because usually at that point I have really found my pace and where I need to be. And it's almost always, when I re-record that first line again at the very end, it's almost always better than the original first line of that last recording. And then I just simply copy it and I paste it over top of the first line or two, and I have the absolute best audition that I can turn in. So again, to recap, remember, the first line of any audition is always the most important. Chances are, unless it's a really compelling audition, they may never get to the end of it anyways. So you've got to make sure that you let them know that you're a serious contender right up front. Once I get the audition I like the best, I always go back. I shouldn't say always. I usually can go back and hear room for improvement in the first line, and I'll re-record that first line and replace it with, again, my updated version to make sure that entire audition is great, but that especially that the first line or two coming out of the gate is as strong as it possibly can be. I encourage you to utilize that strategy to improve your auditions, to improve your win rate, and the bottom line is increasing your income as a voiceover talent. Thanks for checking out this video. If you liked it, I hope you will like it, and I hope you'll share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.